Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're gonna do a bit of a overview, a highlights of another type of a dev Q&A. This is from the Chat with the Devs session that was from August 3rd. Now, this is a Discord thing that they did back on August 3rd. There was a live kind of state your question and we will reply to some of them type session with Discord, and I missed it while live, but everything's still there so we can go through it. So this is another great way for me to share the news with you guys that they're kind of talking about that isn't in game. You know, it's not so obvious. Or if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to read through a wall of text, or doesn't have the time to pay attention to those long Discord posts in general, well, you can pop in your earbuds, go for a walk, throw me in on a drive, and we'll just chill podcast style. And I will update you guys just like I did for the last Dev Insights. But this is different, so I'm having fun. I'm really enjoying trying to be the news girl and keep you guys up on what's going on. And it helps me to know what's going on. It gives me an excuse to make sure I read all these things myself, right? So while I am doing this, I'm just going to let the trailer playlist play on the side. So it might be chopped up because I'm going to read some responses and then cut to the next one and kind of cut out my pausing, of course. So this might not be as free flow, but it's fine. It's just there for a background and a little bit of entertainment. So first of all, this is back on August 2nd. They posted that they were going to be doing this. So it says, "Salute, Commanders! Exciting news! We're thrilled to announce the second edition of Chat with the Devs, calling all commanders to join us for this exclusive opportunity to directly share your thoughts and suggestions with the devs. Let us work together to enhance the gaming experience in Watcher of Realms. Our Discord channel is now your open forum to freely provide feedback and connect with both the devs and fellow gamers to share your passion for the game and beyond. Embrace this amazing chance to be part of the journey. This time, we've introduced a new approach to cater to commanders from all around the globe, ensuring everyone can participate. Just hop into the designated Discord channel at a specific time, and you're all set to join in the fun. Don't miss out." Now, the event time was one very specific time. That's not catering to everyone around the globe. Not everyone can be there at one very specific time for like a half an hour or hour time frame, whatever it was, but good try. At least it's there to be posted afterward, and at least they gave us a little bit of a, warning, I guess. I'm a little bit sneezy right now, so if I look like I'm about to cry or my nose is red, that's why. Oh, and before we get into this Chat with the Devs session, if you guys are watching this video today, it is August 5th. Me and Mabucket finally had our collab. It got delayed a little bit thanks to life, but we finally did it, and we are going to be premiering both of our videos today, same day. So if you're able to hang out, pay attention to your subscriptions. Make sure you're subbed to me now. Make sure you're subbed to Mabucket now on YouTube, because if you go to that subscriptions tab and we schedule a premiere, it will be showing up at the top when that time will be. So that'll be a little bit after this, not right after. So depending on how soon you catch this video, you might be able to catch our live premiere. A live premiere is when the video goes live, of course, but we're not really live. Like, it's obviously a recording, but we will be live in the chat to talk about the video and hang out with you guys while we watch it. So that'll be really fun. You guys know I adore him. He's such a good content creator, and he absolutely deserves all the love he's getting. And it's so nice to finally have that collab. We did so much. We talked about so much. And I think it's going to be really helpful for people for the one on his channel. And my channel was just a really fun conversation comparing to some other games. So I had to give that little bit of a teaser here in this video. And if you're watching this video after August 6th, or 5th, well, obviously those videos are posted on both of our channels already, so go take a listen. But all right, let's get into the Chat with the Dev session from August 3rd. The first one that was replied to was from WOR Guides, who is a content creator. They asked, when will the August update be? Can you give us some information on the gearing rework? So they replied about mid of the month. Improvements on the gearing system are in the works, and there will be changes in the next few patches. So it sounds like it's not just one big update, there's going to be multiple changes to the gearing system. Now, what are those changes exactly? I'm not sure. I don't know if this is something that's already happened on the Forerunner server or not. If you guys know for sure, let me know in the comments below. But I'm coming at this as someone who does not know what happens on the Forerunner server because, well, I kind of accidentally lost my account, so I can't even check to see what the recent patches were there, if there's anything posted. Because, yeah, I was connected, and then I went to log back in on a different device after switching accounts. And yeah, it just says I don't have an account anymore. So that's fun. Google did not stay connected properly, even though it said it did. Bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. The next one is very relatable. I feel this myself. Zukas says, "Hello devs, I have 100 friends on my friend list, and most of them have 1 million plus BP with really good assist units. I can, however, not use any of their strong units. I can refresh assist lists 99 times a day and only get weaker units that are blue and purple, a few yellow. Not only that, but out of 100 friends, I always see the same 20 to 30 friend assists. What about the other 70 friends on my list? Why don't they ever show up? Am I missing something, or is this game feature broken? Thank you for your time and commitment to the game." So true, right? I really only see the same units show up every single day. No matter how often I refresh, it seems to be the case. It seems to be, yeah, like whatever your best unit is, never seems to show, or at least not for everybody. All right, the reply from the devs for this one: only the assist units that are near your BP range can be shown each time you refresh the list. That's really confusing. My BP range? So my BP of my heroes? So like each individual hero's BP? Or the fact that if I have like 800 BP, then my friends that have 1 million BP are not showing up? I think they mean the heroes themselves. That's interesting. So I'm going to have to take a deeper look at that for sure. Only the assist units that are near your BP range can be shown each time you refresh. So that way you're not having super overpowered stuff compared to where you should be able to blast through and do all your content for you. I mean, that makes sense. To be fair, that's fair, right? All right, the next question is a bit of a long one here. Seems like a nice thought out reply by Briza Rico. "Hello, I have two types of questions. The first is an improvement on the equipment improvement system, and the second is on the system to equip a hero with equipment quickly. I would like to know if it's possible to change the UI of improving equipment. Currently we have when we go to a character's equipment, we have a list of our equipment, and we can only select one to improve it. But in this menu disappears, so you have to go back several times to upgrade other equipments. Is it possible to leave the menu on the side with the possibility of minimizing it for people who find it cumbersome? My second point is to know if it's possible to set up a system of multiple improvements. So that is to say we can improve 10 to 20 equipment at a time, because a system with single improvements is nice when you have 1 to 2 equipment to improve, but it's not when you have 100 to 200 to improve. For the second part, I would like to know if it's possible to have, when you click on equipment optimization, to add options such as equipment to only increase HP or resistance for tanks, damage for crit and DPS, etc. Also just, yeah, not one standard solution. So this is true. Their gearing upgrade system is terrible. They have good filtering, which I really appreciate. The fact that you can actually filter by main stats, substats, and sets. That's really good to have right away. Like, Raid Shadow Legends didn't have any friggin' filtering for the longest time for gear, and it was a hot mess. I mean, it took Raid like 3 years to do that. Okay, maybe 2.5 years, but still. Pretty long. But the one really bad thing about this is that they copy Raid in the roll-ups taking forever and failing to upgrade equipment. One thing I hope that they copy Raid on is being able to instant upgrade. no matter how much it's going to cost, just say immediately take it to level 16. No waiting for the rolls. Raid introduced instant upgrade, and I'm hoping they do the same, because it takes forever to roll gear. And like they said, when you want to then switch to another piece to roll, you have to like kind of go in and out of the menu, and you can't just easily roll up a bunch of gear in like a quick time frame. It takes forever. So they did reply, we're introducing several modifications to make gear improvement faster and easier for players in the next patches. For the second part, we'll consider this in the future to make quick equipping more useful feature. So yeah, it does sound like they are working on the gear overall. They kind of said that with the other reply. So gear improvement faster and easier. They need to do something. I really wish, like, okay, copying a lot of Raid Shadow Legends was expected, but my god, this is the only game besides Raid that I've played so far that I have the negative feedback of, why does it fail? Why do we have to have, you're rolling up something and it fails? Just make it a certain cost, whether that cost is 200,000, 500,000, 1 million to roll up a piece of gear to X level. Just make it a flat cost. Don't make it be all over the place. It's just, maybe they'll consider that in the future. I don't know. But that would be a great quality of life improvement to be something that's better than Raid. Thank God they don't charge to swap equipment around. People would flip out if they changed that. But it'd be nice if they improved and got a little more generous and they got rid of the chance to fail. Just make it be a flat charge, like Infinite Magic Raid. If you rolled something from 12 to 16, you could see exactly how much it was going to cost, and you could say, okay, do it. All right, let's see the next one. So this person, let's see, Azuvox? When is Clan Boss going to be rebalanced? Drop from Nightmare 3 and 4 seem worse than 2. Yeah, the drops are a little bit all over the place, aren't they? And that's something I actually talk about with Mabucket in our collab, that it's so annoying that people are pushing the highest levels of Guild Boss, and I mean, you can get terrible rewards. Like, you shouldn't be able to get the blue chest option, you know? Or if you do get the blue chest option, let it be very generous. A very large amount of stamina, a large amount of XP potions that are more than just like, you know, like 6,000 experience or whatever it is. Terrible. Make it be 600,000 experience. Let us like level up some characters, or 60,000 experience at least. You know what I mean? Like, just something that feels a little bit more worth it. All right. Hi. Players need to, the reply. Hi. Players need to try to get better Dragon Blood results to get better possible drops. And there also is day-to-day randomness even if you're getting the top chest. So there is obviously no current plans to improve Guild Boss drops from the chests. Sounds like that's staying as it is. And this was actually good. So middle of the session, I mean, only like 15 minutes into it, they're like, we noticed that everyone's enthusiasm is truly remarkable, which led to some challenges in our team trying to keep up with the responses. In order to ensure smoother communication and exchange ideas, we'll pause the session for 5 minutes, allowing the planning team some time to organize the information that'll help us approach the discussion in a more structured manner. So they took a pause, and then they came back with some replies. So the first one was by Ashived. Let's see, their question was, can you guys please consider to let us use a skip feature if we got the auto and stamina to do so? Farming stamina and gold is the biggest time consumer. It takes several hours with the phone, even for a hero to be leveled up. The reply for that was, we are currently developing a form of background auto-battling mode, which allows you to do other activities while running auto fights. So this is something I mentioned in the last Dev Insights video that I did. Background farming was at the bottom. That's amazing. That is something that Infinite Magic Raid did, and then they kept expanding what you could do while you're auto farming in the background. So good. Was it Awakened Chaos Era? Might have had that too. Summoner's Glory had it where, yeah, you just set up like, okay, you want to do 20 runs on Guild Raid 1. While that's going on in the background, you can do your Guild Boss, you can do Arena, you can roll up your gear, re-gear people, or I guess you wouldn't. And everything obviously is going to be saved from whatever's happening in that moment, but or maybe there has to be certain restrictions because of those live changes, which is fair. Like maybe you can't roll up or change gear on people during that time. I don't know, depending on how they do it. Like, do they stamp the way your characters look in the moment that your auto battles start? Or if you make changes as the auto battles are happening, are your characters actually changing? Are they improving to make the battles faster? That sort of thing is something they have to consider with how they, or what they allow while you're doing background farming. But anything is helpful, even if it's just you can do while you're doing background farming. Again, yeah, arena, guild boss type stuff, you know, or cleansing your gear, but anything to help. I really love that kind of a thing. It helps you, and it's good for them. The more that people, the quicker that people can spend stamina, the more people are going to spend money to try to get more stamina. So everybody wins, right? Everybody wins. There was also a reply to Ramus. Hello, I was on business in Philippines when global launch occurred. When I created my account in the game, it put me on server 6000, which appears to be a server in Asia. I live and work in the US now, and I'm back and unable to join guilds with my buddies. Nor am I able to be friends with any of them because we're on different servers. Seems they're all on servers 50,000s plus. I reached out to customer support and they said the situation they're unfamiliar with. I know other games you can switch servers, or at the very least all servers can communicate with each other. I've spent a good bit of money already on my account and I really want to be in the guild with my friends. Is there any way to make switching servers a possibility, or would this be a much bigger issue if I ever decide to offer guild versus guild in-game? If they ever decide. Yeah, you can't just move one account to another server. People would just stock, like we would just stack a server with our best people and like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't just move your account from one server to another. But it'd be nice if there was more interactions between them. So let's see what they say about that one. They kind of reply with the obvious. If you and your friends are located in the same region, like North America, you can add each other to the friends list and join the same guild, even if you're not on the exact same server. But again, they're not answering the 60,000 series of servers versus the 50,000 series are not linked. So that's what he was trying to say. He's like, but bruh, I was on Asia. Can I hang out with America? The answer is no. All right. So Cricket asked, having the pity counter would be really nice. It's difficult to tell how impactful the rate ups are. I pulled 10 Silas today, but no Vierna. Seems implausible, but having the information would definitely help players to stay sane. We already have a plan to resolve this issue in the future, so sit tight. So regarding a pity counter, so it's not just how many summons have you done, but actually keeping track of when you got your last legendary or when your next legendary is guaranteed. That would be very good. So we had Rebellion TV ask a couple of questions. Number one, can we see what new armor would change the overall stats in the armor screen? This is so true. So many games, if you click on a piece of armor, it shows on the side how that change will affect your character stats specifically, which is really helpful for gearing. Like, I'm always annoyed when I'm like, okay, my Comet has 10,000 attack right now, extra plus 10,000 attack. If I switch these two things, okay, now I have to go ahead and actually make those switches. The whole set you have to switch out and see what will that give you. So that was one thing that was interesting with Raid, is there was kind of like a equipment loadout where you can, a fitting room, what they called it, a fitting room, so you could like not make the changes, but see how it's going to affect your character before you decide to make the changes. But the difference in Raid Shadow Legends with the fitting room and that sort of a thing is there's no cost. Or sorry, there is cost to take off gear and swap gear. So you want a fitting room so you don't waste your gold. But in this game, you don't have to pay to do it. So I can't really see them changing that. Although, yeah, like one piece of gear, when you hover over it, what does that change? Or you click on it, what does that change? Seems like that should be an easy fix to just do that. But I could see not doing like a full fitting room per se. All right, his second question is, can we see how many shards we need to get into the pity range? Which is like the other question. And then number 3, can XP or gold boost be stored in the mailbox when used when players really need those over instant activation? Yeah, that is definitely a concern for sure because so often, yeah, like the event we had, right? You had to buy all those XP bonuses before the event ended. So here I am with a few days of XP bonus if you didn't buy it till the end during times that I didn't necessarily want to farm XP. So the reply, we are planning to add equipment previews in the future. So yes. Number 2, we will introduce this feature soon, the pity counter. And number 3, it's all going to be in the game soon. So yes, yes, yes to those questions, statements, whatever. Which is really nice. Oh, excuse me, which is really nice to see. Yeah, I really like the idea of being able to store things that are in a mailbox and accept them when you need it, including energy, which is something that was always a problem in like every game I've played. So many times you collect your dailies or collect your weekly bonuses, monthly quests, whatever, and you're like, oh crap, I just accepted a bunch of energy. I don't want to use it right now. It'd be nice if all that stuff just automatically went to like an inbox and you could choose when to use it, whether it be a bonus or just the instant addition would be great. All right, next question is from Zero. Question 2, when is Guild Wars going to be launched? So the reply to that part was Guild Wars mode is in internal testing right now, which we know from the dev insights that it's going to be brought very soon to the Forerunner server for testing. If I remember right, the wording was like in the coming month or so, but it will not be brought to global until next year. That's what I remember reading, although I could be remembering it wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But you could check my other video or just pop into the dev insights to double check, but that's what I'm remembering right now. Question 3 from Zero. Why have gear enhancements gone really bad? You guys improved the drop rates for ancients, thanks, but ancient gear are enhancing poorly. Don't really know what he means, ancient gear are enhancing poorly. Oh, the like weird ancient, yeah. It's so weird, I didn't get the point of the ancient gear. It doesn't seem any special at all. Not wrong there, it doesn't seem special at all. We will talk more on this and work on solutions, is the reply to that part. Yeah, because what's the point of that special ancient, like the glowy gear? It doesn't seem to do anything different. Just a better chance of rolling into like the purple or the yellow, maybe? I don't even know. But I got blue rolls. I didn't get great rolls at all. Question 4 from Zero here. When will the legendary heroes like Velcro, Shamir, Celine be buffed so that they can be used like legendaries? I mean, I'm not sure why they're saying Velcro's bad. She's freaking wonderful. I love Velcro. Don't hate on Velcro. But I know Shamir is considered very underwhelming. And personally, I don't know anything about Celine. I have no hate on Velcro, though. She's wonderful. We are rolling out new hero balances every patch. Relatively weaker heroes will be taken care of. So that was the reply there. So someone asked about Arabic countries gaining access. They do clarify which regions are available, which is in their commonly asked questions. As far as, you know, what's included now or not. And it's just a matter of we'll try to add stuff in the future, but for the moment, they're not included. There is a list of countries that are on that in the common FAQs. Someone also asked about support for streamers, you know, content creators. They do have open content creator recruitment, which there's a Google form if you want to, be in the content creator program. Someone asked, when will there be another gold event? I can't progress anymore, so it's expensive to enhance mythic gear. Is there any event day where enhancing is cheaper or free? I love that. That was true. In Raid Shadow Legends, they have random times where they announce that gear upgrades are like 50% cost reduced, or swapping gear is reduced in that one, or whatever it may be. But yeah, reduction where like it's 50% reduced cost of gold, or free. No, you can't have free roll-ups. That would be bad. But more so that amazing event where you could get up to 50 million gold from server launch if you were here at launch through the first couple weeks. That was an amazing event for resources. The reply for that was, we are planning to hold a gold event soon. Good to know. Yes, please. More. Someone asked, which I also noticed, which I thought was really weird, why does the gameplay sound on launch if the sound is off in the menus? Until the half bar is there and then it stops. You basically need to turn on the sound or turn the phone on. Sorry. You basically need to turn the sound on your phone off when starting the game or it wakes everyone up. Please let them know. So obviously that's just a bug with their system regarding the startup screen. So that is something that they are going to fix. So my bucket posted, will you reveal detailed tooltips for skills and stat scaling? It's difficult to discover the formula, but not impossible. So yeah, just trying to test stuff. Some things are kind of tricky, even for someone like him that's had experience in this game. Trying to figure out exactly how some of the skills work or scale can be a bit confusing if they're not spelled out very well or directly say what the multipliers are. But a lot of games do that. A lot of games don't really spell out the modifiers. There's always like some sort of data mining to figure it out later. It is what it is, right? But let's see. They replied, we constantly improve the hero's skill descriptions every patch. We are also open to suggestions regarding this. Feel free to add your detailed opinions and we'll consider it. So one thing I have to say that's really confusing for me, which I accidentally was kind of rude to another content creator about because I'm like, what do you mean? It says it. Vierna. When I was on the Forerunner server looking at her skills, because I thought I had to be there to see her in the gallery, only to realize you could click her in-game in the event information, even though she wasn't in the gallery yet before they were released. It said in her basic skill, this does not have effect with attack speed. Like, attack speed is useless for Vierna. But now it doesn't say that. So I'm actually wondering, did they take away that this is not affected by attack speed? Is she able to use attack speed? I don't know. But if that's not the case, I hope they put in that detailed description, very much like how Zealous is worded. So Crazy Frag 45 has a multi-part question, so we'll try to read and answer in the parts. Will there be an increase in the maximum account level now that players reach level 100 and everything stops? Raise the maximum level to 300, for example. Oh god. I mean, I don't think that's necessary, but okay. What are you really getting for increasing your account level? I don't think that's necessary. That's a weird one. That's a bit extreme. Might intimidate people, honestly. So they did reply saying that there will be an increase to account max level. So level 100 will not be the minimum soon enough. I don't know when. They didn't say when. All right. Next question was, will you be entering the reset of the improved equipment? And its new attempt at the improvement? Will you be introducing the possibility of replacing one of the additional parameters with another? So entering the reset. Oh, like being able to use Chaos Ore in Raid Shadow Legends. Can we reset a piece of gear and have a chance for it to roll something different? We will introduce equipment re-rolling systems soon. So yes, re-rolling of equipment like Chaos Ore in Raid is coming. So question 3, you will introduce a new game mode where players need to hold out in defense for as long as possible with their heroes. The advancing enemies will gradually strengthen. The ways the enemies themselves will change every week. Rating the system will be updated every week or two. I think they mean kind of like Bloodline Heroes of Lethos. They have kind of like this tower thing where you just keep, you hold a defense and waves just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. I guess that is kind of smart for a tower defense game to do something like that. Why not? It is tower defense and that's very defensive. Said we will take it into consideration was the reply. And they also said they would take their number 4 into consideration, which said, will there be a system of hero wishes or a system of excluding heroes when they are called? Some heroes come to the players with a lot of repetition. This is very frustrating because players don't get new heroes. I mean, that is what it is. Sorry. Like, I don't know. RNG, I don't think... They said they'll consider it, but excluding heroes from the wish system? It's like, okay, I have an A5 whoever, Zealous. You don't need more of him. But that's the point. Once you well, it kind of defeats the purpose of their awakening shop. Once you get so many dupes that you don't even need them, you can sell them for the coins for the shop and buy something else with that resource. They kind of already have that system. If you pull too many, I mean, I get that people don't want to get dupes, but I think this game is the kind of game where dupes are good. They improve characters, or dupes are a resource material for a shop. So getting dupes is logical, and I think it's something that they doesn't need to change personally. All right, question number 5 from Crazy Frag. Will there be additions to new sets of mythical equipment so that we can promote the existing sets? Currently, not all sets have equipment promotion. Equipment promotion? What? Oh, they mean like the Ascension? I don't even know what Ascending Gear is like. I just saw the material. I haven't even looked at it yet. Nope, don't want to know. Don't want to know. Kidding, not kidding. There will be more mythical gear sets introduced later. And then final question was, you wrote that players from the main server will be able to get on the Forerunner server, but by what rules will this happen? When? What are the requirements? We need to know more about this information. So first of all, nobody should want to be on the Forerunner server. It's the pre-launch server, and you would assume that they're trying to get people off of it, not onto it. That's so silly. It doesn't make sense. But they kind of treat it like a test server for people to get early access to content, but you realize people have been on the Forerunner server for like 3 years. Like, why would you want to be on something where you can't compete? Even if you whale out, you're never going to compete with those people. So I highly do not suggest anyone do that unless you just make a base level account just to see what updates are coming, but it seems a little irrelevant when you have content creators that are going to just tell you what's coming anyway. I don't know. I mean, I get it though. Like, okay, we know that Guild versus Guild is going to come on the Forerunner server before it comes on the main, so maybe you want to be part of that process. But still, the idea of starting from scratch when there's so much competition for everything on the Forerunner server sounds a bit silly to me. So next one is Rendrick. Hello, I'd like to ask 2 things. First, is there any chance you'll revamp the XP and gold dungeons to give more or cost less? Second question, can we have detailed explanations of the effective healing, like the formula used and how it works, etc.? The reply is we will have improved the productions of XP and gold levels, and it will be in the game soon. Question 2, we have made some improvements on the healing explanation and will be watching for players' feedback on this matter. I mean, when you click the word heal, you can see it's based on attack or based on HP or whatever it may be. So maybe that's all they mean, that they've changed. It wasn't initially as clear, maybe. So someone, HK, asked if there will be emojis added to the in-game chat. And it does say they are planning to add them in the future. So Mabucket had a post here with a few different things. Number 1, a developer roadmap. Can you provide us with the developer roadmap so we have an idea of what's coming in the future? I love this. That's one thing that Raid did that was pretty cool, was there was a roadmap. You kind of got to see their long-term goal. Like, okay, it doesn't mean it's going to be 100% followed, and we can accept that. But you know that they're working on Guild versus Guild. They're working on the next guild boss. You know that for the next 3 months, the first quarter, or the first year of the game, this is all the things they're hoping to achieve. Having a general idea of what the game is planning is really exciting for people because they know it's always going to be bringing fresh content. So that would be nice as well. They did say they are going to consider that. And then for Guild versus Guild, he asks, all right, let's see. Guild versus Guild is expected on the Forerunner server in September. Is there an estimation of when this will arrive on the global server? So they replied that we will figure this out based on how things go during the testing on the Forerunner server. So I did see something where it said next year. Like I said, the Dev Insights, I'm pretty sure that's where they worded it, next year. For exactly when, who knows. But it depends on how things go. It depends if people like the Guild versus Guild system that they do for the Forerunner server and they don't need to change it, it'll probably come out sooner. But if people hate it, there's a lot of negative feedback, or nobody's participating in it, well, then they know they need to change it. So it's probably going to depend on if they do a good job at nailing it when it first comes out. All right, question number 3 from a bucket is Guild Boss 2. Can you provide us with any information on the second guild boss mentioned earlier in the year? So there's supposed to be a totally different boss besides the dragon that we fight, I believe is what he means. And this does say that we're planning to add that earlier next year. So there should be a whole nother guild boss like to fight daily, I'm assuming. And then Mabucket's 4th question was, there are now more legendary heroes in the game than epic heroes. Are there any plans to add meaningful amount of epics to the game? That is very true. I've noticed so many games do that now. I think Dragonair did the same. More legendaries than epics, more than rares. Like usually I'm used to like Raid Shadow Legends where you have more rares than epics, more epics than legendaries. Logic. It would make sense. But the problem is, I think with this, the biggest thing for me with epics in this game is that 2 times events for boosted chances for legendaries do not include epics. And I'm honestly starting to devalue 2 times events. Maybe for legendary crystals because 12% is a lot better than 6. But if you can't even get more epics from the rare crystals, and 0.5% to 1% isn't that exciting, I don't know. I don't think I like 2 times events anymore. I've had terrible luck myself. I've had much better luck during 10 times, except for legendary crystals. I really wish they'd add epics to the mix. But the reply for that is we are making more meaningful epic heroes. So there's a question about Arena here from Thorn. Arena seems inconsistent. Sometimes it ties a match where I have things killed, but other times your opponent doesn't. So tying matches? I didn't even notice that. So just some arena imbalances, maybe. It said, we are aware of such issues and are working to resolve it. Then we have Doom Soldier asking, are there plans to make co-op dungeons? Players can party up to go into a mission where they each earn their own cost during the match, but can only bring 5 heroes and work together. This is something really fun that Dragonair does, like with Chaos Rift. 3 times a week, you can join a friend. It's still just an auto battle, player versus environment where each person can set stuff up and you get more. You can do the battle on your own, but you'll get better rewards if you do it with another person. I think they do that pretty well. It makes it fun. The reply here is we've been considering more new game modes. You will see that they are ready to. You will see when they are ready to go. So it sounds like they're considering doing some types of co-op, but what exactly, we don't know yet. So Mihai says, hello, I'm a Raid Shadow Legends veteran. Based on what I've seen in this game, besides Raid Shadow Legends, it's much better. I have a few questions concerning the game. Energy management. Will you let people plan somehow to add more energy or reduce the cost across the board? It's expensive, especially as a free-to-play player, for example. And summoning. Is it possible to somehow reduce the number of summonings in order to get a legendary hero? For example, instead of hitting 200 to hit the bad luck protection, can it be 175 or 150? It's kind of expensive. And then PvP. Is it possible in future to add an actual PvP mode? Right now it feels like PvEV PvP. Do I have suggestions here? So I have 2 suggestions. 1, do get inspiration from Raid and do a live PvP matchmaking system. Or better, you can make a board where your champions get to be runners and also attack the opposite side or something like that. It feels like the PvP, game mode kind of sucks, honestly. Heroes, will you plan to add more epics and legendaries? And guild, will you do guild versus guild? So they kind of replied very general to all of this one. It says, we already have such plans, just about all of that. That was the reply to. So it sounds like they are considering the fact that, you know what, this thing, if the game is a lot like Raid Shadow Legends, that's fun and all. But if they copy the things that people hate about Raid Shadow Legends, that's not fun and all. How about you try to be better than Raid? How about you give us better quality of life than Raid? Give us a reason to stop playing Raid because your game does this better. Don't copy everything that Raid does, especially their terrible pity system. And if you're gonna copy Raid's terrible pity system of 200 to start getting into the pity counter for rare summoning crystals, give us 2 times for epics also. That's my biggest feedback. And it looks like that's kind of where we stopped. There was some really long feedbacks toward the end that they said they are kind of, running out of time here. It's coming to a close. Feel free to post responses. We'll take a look. But they did not reply to anything else after that. So that kind of sums up that. I think that was really, really good. It was fun to see some of those responses. There's definitely some encouraging replies there to know that they are considering these things. Like, hopefully they really are going to consider making energy stamina costs a little better, the summoning a little bit more generous pity-wise. Just a few little things here to, improve overall. The game is honestly really wonderful, but no game is ever going to be perfect, and we can never make everybody happy. If you make the free-to-play, limited time a day, make everything instant skip stuff happen, then other people are going to be bored saying there's nothing to do because I'm done in 5 minutes. So, like, people want to have stuff to do for hours also. So the people that want to be able to play the game for 12 hours a day and the people that want to play the game for 30 minutes a day, there's got to be some ways to meet in the middle. Keep that in mind. No game is ever going to be perfect with all of that. So I think they're doing pretty good so far. I'm really happy to hear that clarification about background farming and a lot of wonderful things mentioned here today. Hope this was helpful. Hope you guys had fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys, well, maybe for the live premiere of my video with Mabucket. First, we're going to be doing the video on his channel for the premiere, and then we're going to premiere into my premiere for my video on my channel. They're a little bit longer because it's kind of chill, fun vibes and talking, but they're very educational, very helpful stuff, and I really hope everybody enjoys it because I would love to do that more in the future if you guys like it. But that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.